All right, let me tell y'all something right now. You can't be a jaguar and an atheist at the same time. Let me repeat. You can't be a jaguar and an atheist at the same time. They do not mix. It's like trying to mix oil and water. Some things in life is just not meant to be. And what inspired me to do today's topic, I was having a back and forth with a one of the subscribers. I don't know if it was one of those people who just visit the channel and not the original subscribers from the old channel, because from what I seem to know or understand, most of the jaguars, I believe, are not atheists. But now I'm starting to see that when I'm reading the comments that we have some atheists in the house, and we have to address this, because you cannot follow jaguarism and be an atheist at the same time. It does not mix, because everything we speak about deals with spirituality. It deals with soul and understanding. We call ourselves the United Souls. We call ourselves us versus them. We are against the HPB system. And if we going to say that there is no God, then we no different from HPBs. What's the difference? Because if they just some soulless creatures walking around, then if you are atheist, then you a soulless creature walking around just like them. So how can you be a part of the us versus them? Because if there is no God, then there is no before the time of the great falling away. You see, atheism, it destroys everything that we are about. If we saying that we atheists, we have to dismiss the time before the great falling away. We have to get rid of that, because during that time we speak about darkness existing. We speak about the intelligence of the Creator, the truth, the right understanding to heaven. Where does all of that come from? Where does all of those revelations come from? If there is no God, then where do you get revelations from? Where would I get the revelations from and the inspiration to do this channel if there is no God? Do you feel what I'm saying? Let me get seated somewhere. Y'all done brought out the vintage left side of the brain. I haven't did one of these type of videos lately. So y'all done brought out the vintage, and I know some of y'all been missing this. I know you've been missing the old school left side of the brain. So I said today, let me do one of these old school videos. Let me make sure nobody is up here listening to me. You know, I gotta watch myself. Let me see. All right, coast looks clear, so let's get into it. I'm gonna sit right here and do this video. All right, so if we going to subscribe to the atheism, then we may as well, not talk about the other things that we discuss, because God, He is the origin of all of my information. If we're gonna subscribe to atheism, then we may as well dismiss astral projection. I did a not seminar. Well, maybe I'm speaking something into the future. But I did a live stream about my astral projection experience. So if we're going to dismiss God, then where does astral projection falls into place? How does the Big Bang Theory explain astral projection? You see what I'm saying? So we cannot dismiss God from the equation. We are not like those human prison bars. We are not like this godless generation. If we going to dismiss God and say that we are atheists and jaguars at the same time, then how can I upload videos about the homosexual movement? Because we understand that all of that goes against nature and it's corruption. So if we saying that we are atheists, then that means you have to throw morality away. Do anything. Anything goes. We'll be like, no, I don't even want to mention his name again. Enough spotlight for him. But we will be like that person that I will leave anonymous. But you know who I'm talking about. The person I did who I called in on his Instagram live. See, we would be like those type of people. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you have to be careful out here. Like yesterday, I did a video about about not getting sucked into the emotions of everybody else. So a lot of times with all of this type of metaphysical and the type of information we deal with, it borders around atheism, because it's like a free thinking type of forum that we deal with. When you into this type of information, when you like Googling something about the type of things we talk about, in the search query, something about atheism will come up. So even in the program of like Google, this type of subject matter, it's a thin line between what we are saying and what and atheism. Not saying we talk about the same stuff, but it's fringe on the edge type of information. But the danger in that is you can allow yourself to go over the board to where you will start saying things like, excuse me, so you will start saying things like there is no God. Well, if there is no God, there is no such thing as a consciousness telling you right from wrong. And I'm going to say something else. As a matter of fact, I'm going to title this video what I'm about to say right now. It is impossible for someone to be an atheist. An atheist does not exist. There's no such thing as atheist. It's an old saying. It's an old military saying. Some of you people probably former military servicemen, I don't know, but you've probably heard this saying. There are no atheists in the foxhole. I repeat, there are no atheists in the foxhole. None. Now what that means is, when you are in a very dire situation, a life or death situation, internally, something inside of you is going to manifest. And what that thing is, you're going to turn to God one way or the other. When you got bullets flying over your head, if you ever been in a vehicle accident and you look up and you see an 18-wheeler coming forward in your lane, and people automatically they scream out, "Oh my God!" Where do you think that come from? That's your spirit. That's your spirit that is addressing that there is something higher than you. And that thing that's higher than you is the Creator. That's why in the Bible it says that every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. Because certain situations will make you confess that there is a God, just like the scripture says. Like if you seen, like I said, if you seen a truck coming head on in your lane, you're going to say, "Oh my God." You're going to confess that there is a God. So there is no such thing as an atheist. You did not create the body that you live in. Get that through your head. You did not create this body. You do not keep yourself alive at night. Even while you're listening to me right now, your heart is beating and you're not even thinking about your heart beating. Now, since I said it, you start thinking about your heart beating because I said, but before I said that, you wasn't thinking about your heart beating. Just like you're not thinking about breathing right now. Until I said it, then you started thinking about breathing. So that means at all times, it is something that has control of you. You do not control the involuntary actions of your central nervous system and your brain that controls your body. The creator is the origin of that. He governs and ordains who lives and who dies. Okay? So don't get above yourself, because another thing about atheism is the epitome of arrogance. Pride goes before a fall. See, when a person is healthy and strong, it's easy for them to say, I'm an atheist. Yeah, I'm an atheist, because right now you are saying that because you're not laid up in a hospital. You're not sick. You're healthy. You're strong. But I guarantee you, as you get older and wiser in years, or if something happens to you and you go to the doctor and they tell you that you have terminal cancer and it's metastasizing and spreading all over your body, you will change that tune immediately. Immediately, you will change that tune. Because once the science fails you, once their medicines don't work, you're not going to have no option but to turn to God. Because you're going to realize that I can't heal myself. The doctors can't heal me. So what am I going to do? And faith heals. They did research that your body, if you have faith, if you believe in a higher power, people who have faith, they have the ability through their faith to heal themselves. That's why Jesus, when he had went to that certain town, for any of you Bible affluent people, Bible scholars, if you know the specific city I'm speaking about, put it in the comment section. But I don't have no notes in front of me right now. I'm just going off the spirit. So he was in a particular city, and the Bible said he couldn't do no miracles. And not because he wasn't able to do it. It's because God don't force anything upon you. The people did not have faith. So because of that, he couldn't perform any miracles. Now, that aligns with what I was saying. Medical research shows that people who have faith in a higher power, there is case studies that have shown that those people overcame certain ailments and sicknesses even when the medicines failed them, because see how your spirit is set up? Your spirit can overpower your body and your mind, but you have to have faith. And studies have shown those people have healed themselves because they had faith. You see? So there is no such thing as an atheist. And even when you look at nature, even when you look at the nature around you, this universe is based upon order. Okay? It does have chaos, but order brings chaos into order. You see? Chaos is a state of being that can be brought into order. Order is the original state. Chaos, see, perfect darkness, that darkness I speak about, that darkness, that tranquility, that all-knowing, omniscient intelligence, that is order. Chaos is what occurred after the great falling away. And I'm driving a point home right now. Chaos came into place after the great falling away, when the initial rebellion took place and things created its own identity to go against the order. And that's when we fell into these bodies, and that's when, you have the HPB system springing up and everything, like the illusion. But all of that is built on top of order. The illusion does not exist by itself. The illusion is created by the light, which came out of darkness. And they can't live without us because they are parasites. So everything illusionary is parasitical, right? So when it comes to atheism, it defies order, because they believe in the Big Bang Theory, but the universe is order. It's made up of order. If the seashore line, that's something in my throat. If the seashore line washed up, if the moon moved 1 inch closer to the earth, it would affect the shoreline. If the sun moved 2 or 3 inches closer to the earth, the temperature would raise dramatically. That's how much order is within this system. And you see, atheism, the Big Bang Theory, it can't explain the order. It just tells you an explosion took place, but it doesn't tell you what initiated the explosion. So really, it's a philosophy that's clueless about itself. It's clueless about its own origin. So how can that be a great wisdom when it's clueless about its origin? And not only that, it's clueless about how the world will end. So atheism begins somewhere in the middle, absent of a beginning and absent of how everything will end. You see, because it denies the all-knowing. But when you know that there is a God, it has a beginning. The beginning explains how we got here. And because the darkness is all-knowing, it knows what the end of this world system will be. Atheists can't tell you that. They start, like I said, somewhere in the middle. It's because they are clueless about the origin of everything and the end of everything. They have all these theories, and they'll tell you about particles, but they don't tell you what set that particle in motion. What's the energy behind it? They can't tell you that. And a reason why you have a lot of atheists, because the origin of atheism is people wanting to defy the order in the universe. Most atheists happen to be homosexuals. Most atheists support unnatural human behavior. Not saying that they don't have any morality, but as an atheist, they are naturally operating like, how can I put it? Somebody that you can't trust. Because if somebody don't believe that there is a all-powerful judge that will ultimately decide where you will spend eternity, then that person is liable to do anything. A godless person. Can you imagine the mind of a person who don't believe that there is no God? How do they cast down vain imaginations and all of those evil thoughts that come to your mind? That means they'll think about anything. They'll look at a little baby and have pedophile thoughts because they don't believe in a God. They don't believe in a hell. They don't believe in a heaven. They'll do anything. They'll see an animal and commit bestiality. They commit homosexuality. They will do anything because they do not have a conscience that is centered in godliness. Now, I'm not preaching no religion right now. I'm just saying there is a God and there is right and wrong, and there is something that governs and will judge you. Don't think you just doing things in this life and something is not seeing you at all times. The Big Bang Theory, it can't explain consciousness. It can't explain emotions that people have. It can't explain dreams. It can't explain nightmares. It can't explain these things. All of those things are spiritual or metaphysical. Science really doesn't tell you anything new. The only thing science does, a scientist is one who discovers something that has already existed. Only thing he do is just discover it. He don't bring about anything new, because number one, there's nothing new under the sun. Okay? So because there is nothing new under the sun, he can't bring you a new something that never existed. He just discovered it. You see? So what they relying upon is absent of the creator's input about the very thing that he discovered. So when he runs out of answers, what does the scientist do? What does the scientist do? He is limited because he is trying to view the world based upon his limited understanding. But those of us who know that there is a God, I don't say believe, because I know that there is a God. I've had an astral projection experience. So if you haven't experienced those type of things, you will be like, I don't believe there's no God. This, you can't tell me this. See, a person like that, you are limited. You are nothing but a human prison bar. You see? You a human prison bar. See, atheism, it doesn't explain how we as humans, how we are the apex of creation far as intelligence. Monkeys can't do what we do. Rats, mice, they can't do the things we do. They can't make and upload a YouTube video. You see what I'm saying? So it's just certain things that we are capable of doing that they can't do. So how does the Big Bang Theory explain that? If the Big Bang Theory is real and everything just came from a sudden explosion, then how does it explain the different intelligence levels of creatures on the earth? If all of us just came about at the same time, then why are we more intelligent than apes and monkeys and chimpanzees and gorillas and animals in the zoo? Why do we have the intelligence to put them in the zoo and it's not vice versa? They don't put us in the zoo. They can't drive cars and fly planes. You know why? We have that intelligence and they don't. Because we are the souls that comes from the time of the great falling away. And we fell down, so we still have that super intelligence that comes from the creator. And us being the dominant intelligence on this earth is proof of that. We are the reflection of the creator. The Bible says we were made in the image of God. So therefore, we have that type of intelligence that he has. We don't have all the intelligence, but we are tapped into that God mind. And that's why we can think, we have consciousness, we have dreams, we have revelations, we have inspirations, we have we experience synchronicities. How does atheism explain synchronicities and everything I speak about on this channel? Ask yourself that. So don't let these atheists fool you and deceive you. Because if the world just blew up, if the world just began by some random explosion, it doesn't explain everything. It doesn't explain like things like demon possession. Demon possession is real. It doesn't explain the spiritual side of this universe. So that's how I know it's garbage. It's garbage, man. Like there is a dark side. There is a spiritual side to all of this. Right? And the order in the universe reflects the order of the creator. You see what I'm saying? Like the atheists, they want you to live in a world that's disorderly. That resembles the world of chaos. Chaos fights against order. We are here to establish order. You see, their universe, in the way they say it originated, it doesn't explain order. It explains confusion. It starts in the middle. Like I said, it don't give you the beginning and the outcome of everything. It starts in the middle. Just like the HPBs, they want you to be. They want you to be in the middle, in the confusion state. They want you to be walking around saying, I don't know where all of this came from. I know where it came from. It came from God. I know where all of this came from. We are creation. We have one creator. That's why everything in nature has a similar design. That's the hallmark sign. Like if you went to an art gallery and an experienced art surveyor, he can tell you an authentic Picasso painting from a counterfeit because of the signature of how the stylized way that Picasso painted, his markings, the way his style. So order and the unity in how everything in creation is designed lets us know that there is one creator. Look at the similarities between chimpanzees and human beings. You know why God allowed you to see that similarity? I'm not saying we are apes, because we're not apes. But the reason why you can see that similarity, because there is one creator for this. All mothers, they fight for their young. If you try to mess with a cat, with the kittens of a mother cat, she's gonna fight you. Any mother will fight off anything that's trying to harm its children. Where you think that similarity comes from? It comes from the spirit of the one God that created all of this. Now that opposite spirit that you see, that chaos, that's that diverse that we live in now, that occurred after the time of the great falling away. If you have any questions about that, you have to refer to the red light edition that I did, and it's actually called The Great Falling Away. So before you have any questions about the Great Falling Away, go and watch that video about the Great Falling Away. And just a heads up, even when I speak about the Great Falling Away, I'm gonna be honest, I don't have all of the answers about the Great Falling Away. You can never have all of the answers about everything, because one thing about everything is constant. And as events occur, We occur in the middle of the occurrence. So I can't tell you about everything. I can't tell you everything about the great falling away. It's like coming into a movie theater during the middle of the movie. I can't tell you everything about it because everything is a constant occurrence. I can just tell you what the Spirit gives me. And this type of information, you have to be a spiritually in tune person to get it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do another video as soon as I finish this one. As a matter of fact, I'm done with this one. Hit the likes button, hit the subscribe button. Left side of the brain out.